Hi everyone, good evening, and guys, welcome back to this interview preparation strategies webinar again. In today's webinar, we have Pragati with us, who is in her third year an ECE branch. So, guys, before we proceed with this webinar and before we call Pragati here, let me just know that if I'm audible, so drop your comments in the comment section. A thumbs up will work and let me know that I'm audible. Okay. So, so waiting for your comments. Just a thumbs up will work. And by the time you guys are commenting in the comment section, let me just give you a recap about the discussion in this webinar. So we'll be discussing about the preparation strategies that are, adopted by Pragati, who helped her, which helped her in, bagging this opportunity for herself. And I can see some comment here and I can see that I'm audible. So without wasting any time, so I'm calling Pragati here. Hello, Pragati.
Hi, Sony.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. So, Pragati, we are audible to our audience, and I've just given a brief introduction about yourself, a very little introduction, but we would really like our audience would really love to know that about your introduction from yourself only. So let's start this webinar, and let's start this webinar with your introduction. So please go ahead.
Okay. Yeah. Good evening, everyone. I am Pragati Salunke, and I'm currently in fourth year pursuing Electronics and Communication Engineering from Vellore Institute of Technology, Chennai. I am also pursuing my internship in Hewlett Packard Enterprise, and I started this internship at in February. And regarding Hewlett Packard Enterprise, it is a American MNC, and it works with servers and financial services. For this offer that I got from Hewlett Packard Enterprise, the interviews were held last year in September 2020, and I got an internship plus full-time offer.
Okay, so congratulations to you on that. You must be, very happy about, getting a PPO after your internship. Okay, so Pragati, let's discuss something about the interview rounds. Okay, so it will be really great if you describe the interview rounds to our audience.
Okay, so the interview rounds, so there were like four rounds. The first one was the written test, in which there were questions from the aptitude test and MCQs from the coding languages. And then the second round was technical round. In this, the questions were asked from operating system, computer communication, and data structures and algorithms. And basic questions were asked, and the important thing I would like to make clear is that one should be very good at the basics. And the next round was managerial round, where manager asked about the background and then what are the difficulties that we faced, then why only HPE and why not other companies, and various other questions. Then the next one was HR round, in which they asked similar questions like managerial round itself, and they asked why not I'm planning for the higher education and why this job. So, in brief, I just told about the rounds.
Okay. Okay, so this was about the interview rounds. Sorry. I think I would like to know, like, I think our audience would also like to know here the difficulty level of the, of the interview rounds here. What's it, easy, moderate, or higher difficulty? So, how would you describe the difficulty level of these interview rounds?
Okay, the difficulty level I would describe as simple to moderate. They were not as highly difficult. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so as you have mentioned that you are a ECE student, right? And you are not from the CS background, but you are placed at a firm, a CSIT, an IT firm. So we would really like to know your preparation strategies because this is something beyond, imagination that someone coming from ECE branch and getting placed into an IT firm. So your how was your, what were your preparation strategies for each of these rounds?
Okay, so like Sony mentioned, I am from an electronics and communication background. But the first thing that I would like to advise to non-CSIT people is that don't have this blocker in the mind that just because I'm not from CSE background, I cannot crack interviews for the CSE companies, IT companies. So this is the first thing I would like to say. And regarding my preparation strategy, so I started coding when I was in 11th, and till I would say second year of my college, I was thorough with my basics. I I wasn't like the hardcore coder. So then in the third year, started preparing for my placements, and first thing that I did was clearing all the basic concept. And the next thing that I did was coding on platforms like HackerRank, HackerEarth. And when the placements began in fourth year, I started giving tests. Like in the starting, I gave 2 tests per week. Then later on, I made it like once every 3 days. So like this, I was able to improve. And while giving tests, I got to know where my speed is slow, or in the pressure, if I'm not able to apply a certain concept, or I'm not able to think, and what speed I should go ahead. So this was my preparation strategies, and definitely Geek4Geeks was one of the biggest platform that I referred to for my doubts and for the concepts. So I would
Okay,
really
thank
thank
you.
Geek.
No, we are thank you that we actually helped you and the students who are in their graduation or who are looking out for their jobs or internships. Okay, so you have mentioned that your coding journey started from 11th standard, right?
Yeah.
So we would really like to know more about your coding journey. Okay, so your points on this.
Uh, so like in 11th, I took computer science as a subject. So at that time, I studied basics of coding, and then majorly I was focused in file handling. And then when I came to college, I got to know about the different languages. So, like in first year, I picked up with Python, C, and C++. And from second year onwards, I started working on my Java language. And the thing in the coding journey that I always had a talk with my seniors who were getting placed. Like what are the technologies that they want, the companies want, and accordingly that I was just exploring myself into those tech stacks.
Okay. So, I would really, I'm curious to know that which is your, favorite language, because being a ECA student, so which language excites you the most?
Uh, I would say Python and Java. These both languages it excites me the most
Okay, so that's
because
your interest
Python,
area.
yeah, Python is quite easy to type compared to Java, but yeah, like both are my favorite.
Okay, okay, that's really great. Okay, so Pragati, this was about your coding journey, and we have discussed the interview rounds as well. So let's discuss something about the projects here, right? So what do you think? Like, what should one keep in mind while preparing the projects in their graduation?
Okay, so first thing I would say is this is the time where one is student and one has one should get as much as exposure to projects as possible. And so the first thing that one should do is you have to choose a field in which you want to do a project because out there are many fields, many tech stacks. So just first choose the field and then choose your aim. Like what should be your aim for the project. Next, I would say like you have to always keep in mind like who will be the end user of the project and what should one do because if you don't have clarity on the end user then uh, it would be quite messy to go ahead with the project. Then I would say that we need to find out the functionalities, like what all functionalities do you need in a project. And once the project is formed, once you have a clear idea about what to do in the project and how to go about it, start doing it. So in the process, while you are creating projects, you will encounter many errors. So the one mistake that I did while creating projects was that I used to give up when I got errors. So, but then later on, I just, the seniors or who are the experts in that tech field, I used to contact them and they used to help me. So in this way, I was able to learn many things while doing projects. And the other important thing I would like to stress on is like in the college, most of us copy the projects that are already there on the internet. So if you put those projects in the resume, there should be something that is your contribution to the project and that is not on the internet, and what you have learned through by doing the project. So this is a very important point, I would say. Yeah. So these are the important points in the project.
Okay, so one thing that actually came up to my mind is that when you are having the managerial round and the HR round, they must have mentioned that how did you how did you worked on the projects related to CS or IT. So have you, like, how did you answer tackle those questions?
Okay, in my college years, I would like to mention my one of the major project that was Follow Me Bot. So in this, we were creating a robot which will follow a human person. So for that, we were using Arduino, and here coding also comes because it used embedded C. So that's the way how I related my ECE background to the computer science background. So even if you have done projects in circuit branches or any other branch, one should be able to relate it to coding some way or the other so that the interview gets the idea, okay, fine, this person knows coding and knows how to approach a project.
Okay, I think that's really, smart move. Okay, so sorry, we have the discussion on the projects as well. So let's just discuss something about the motivational part here, because there are a lot of things that happens around you in your graduation, your exams, your projects, your internships, and you have to give it a thought about your job and all this stuff. So how did you manage that, and in this time of pandemic also? So how do you keep yourself motivated?
Okay, so regarding this, like my placements began when the pandemic began, I would say like that. So obviously, like I got to know from my seniors and many of the people were already placed that they were being laid off and they weren't getting PPOs. So this was a thing that was really making a negative impact on me. So I would say rather than thinking about what's not in your hand, think about what's in your hand. So I did all the preparation and I gave the test. I used to analyze the results and like I used to maintain a notebook in which I used to write down my scores. So after a month of practice and giving tests, I could see the graph going up. So that was the biggest motivation. And I always talk to my parents and my friends whenever I felt down. So they really helped me to keep up, and so that's how I stayed motivated.
Okay, so that's really great. Okay, so Pragati, we have these questions from our end. Okay, and let's just jump into the comment section and let's see how many questions we have from our audience for you. And audience, if you are having any question for Pragati, just drop your question in the comment section and we'll take up that question. While people are commenting more questions in the comment section, let's see if we have any question as of now. Okay. Okay, I'm taking this question from Sarthak. His question is how to prepare for the upcoming Python interviews and what are the things should we keep in mind while preparing?
Okay, so for the Python interviews, I would say first clear your basics and focus more on coding and solving problems in the minimum number of time, like minimum time that you can do. And like I prepared for data structures and algorithms, so I was mainly focusing on like how can I use like time optimization and space optimization. So that was the major focus. And for preparing, I would suggest platforms such as HackerRank, HackerEarth, GeeksforGeeks. So any platform will do. Just make sure that you're doing on your own and you're not copying answers from anywhere in the internet. And make sure you learn it. Yeah. That's what I would say.
Okay, thank you, Pragati. Sarthak, I think your question has been answered. Um, let's see another questions. It's I'm taking this question from I don't know the name of this person. I cannot understand. Ika. Okay, so the question is how to prepare for tree and graph.
Uh, for data structures and algorithms, it's the same. Like as I said earlier, like first make sure you're gripping, like you're getting the basics clear. It's no use jumping directly to higher questions just because others are able to solve. Go at your own pace and do the basic questions like how to construct a tree, how to construct a graph, and then there are basic questions like a binary search tree, binary trees, and then go to like just start from the easy level, then moderate, then difficult level. These type of questions are already there in HackerRank with the level of difficulty. Thank you.
Okay, great. Okay, so let me see other questions as well. Um, okay, okay. So I'm taking this question, and it's from G for genuine. So, how much months are required to prepare, and what were your projects?
Okay, for the number of months, that totally depends from person to person. Some people are able to grasp the concepts very easily, and so they don't require much time. Some people they really need time, but I would suggest like start from at least starting of the third year of your engineering to prepare for the placements. And yeah, I would say that. And yeah, and regarding what were my projects? So projects like in 11th and 12th, I created a project for data file handling for life insurance company, like the insurance, to maintain the database for the insurance. And then in engineering, I created one project using the same for using Python language for ticket allocation in cinema theaters, and then calculating the bills for that if a person selects the bill. And my electronics projects were follow me board that I said earlier, then amplitude modulation in MATLAB and various other projects like that.
Okay, okay. So let's take this question from Vineet, and his question is: he learned Python language and is familiar with the computer networks and operating systems. So, how can
Okay.
he learn DSA with Python?
Okay. So So usually in DSA, the suggested languages are C and C++ rather than Python or any other language because it is easier to write code over there in data structures and algorithm, and it gives a quite clarity, like I said about the space complexity and the time complexity. Uh, and learning DSA, I would say it is independent of any language. Just pick up like whatever source you're picking up, just pick it up and go through the theory, understand the concepts, and try to get into the coding and implementing rather than spending a large time on theory. So in this way, you can learn DSA in any language.
Okay. Okay, there is one question I'm taking from the comment section, and the question is, what are other parts apart from coding needed for interview?
Okay, so apart from the coding, the other subjects, like I mentioned, operating system, computer communication, these don't require coding, but you need to know the basic concepts, like what is operating system, what is kernel. Then for the computer communication, like how a router focuses the network, and like what is a TCP/IP protocol, and what are different layers of OSI. So like this, the questions are already there on internet. So these are the questions that you need to prepare, and so this is for the technical round. For the managerial and HR round, make sure that you have a right attitude and not like not too confident, not too low confident. It should be like the appropriate confidence, and you need to depict a positive attitude, and always talk to your seniors who have given the interviews, what kind of questions were asked. Go through the internet, what kind of questions are asked in the managerial and HR round. So in this way, one can prepare for the HR and the managerial round. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, thank you, Pragati. And I'm saying questions. Let me just take one more question from the comment section. Sure. Okay, so have you any idea on the off-campus placement? If you have, then I'll take up the question that
Uh,
I'm going to take.
no, all the like I haven't been through off-campus placements.
Okay.
Sorry.
Okay, then I'll leave this question and I'm looking for another question from here. Okay. I think this will be a great question. It's from Vikas and the question is how to evaluate ourselves after learning something and how to remember it for a long time.
Okay. So for evaluating, so if I take for like how I did, I'll tell you. So I practiced, like I said earlier before, I gave tests as much as I can and I evaluated them. So obviously from the test, I would know the marks. And the biggest question is, okay, how to remember it for a long time. So I used to write like whatever the important points are there, I used to maintain a record of it. And I used to go through it every Sunday, or even like once in a month will do, because that will help. Just by reading it, your brain will be able to recollect it. So that's the answer to the question. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so okay. Okay, this question I'm taking, it's from Yashwant. Where do we find projects?
Google. Okay. Okay, sorry for that. So like projects, just like I usually Google, like in which field I want to find projects, pick up any project and then work on it, and then brainstorm with my friends what other thing that I can add to the project and how can it be implement. So yeah.
Again, and also here, I would like to add that if you will look up to the any project, if there is any project that someone has done in the past, but there's a scope, so you can always start your project looking at the scope of the previous project. So that way, it can help you, I think. And I am I don't know that if we can take up any question now. Okay, okay. So these are the questions from the comment section, and because of the time constraint, we cannot take all the questions. So Pragati, last but
Wow.
not the least, your advice to the viewers and your advice to the viewers.
Okay, my advice to the viewers is like practice, learn, and have confidence in yourself. Just because someone like other people are getting placed and you're not getting placed, you don't get tensed. Your time will also come. Just have faith, practice, and keep learning and revising things. So that would be my advice to my audience. And relax, and do give some time for recreation activities like either exercise or go for playing or anything that you like, because mind also needs to be refreshed every week or whenever you feel like. Don't like work so much that you're burnout. Yeah.
Okay,
Relax
so
also and also. Yeah.
yeah. Okay, so Pragati, thank you so much for coming and sharing your experience and taking up the questions from the comment section as well, and helping out the audience who are watching us right now. And I'm so glad that you came and shared your experience.
Thank you, Geek for Geeks, for having me over here uh, and giving me this opportunity to share my experience. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you again. Take care.
Take care.
Okay, guys, so this was it for today, and I hope you have got some idea and you have, have the guidance over how you can prepare for the upcoming interview, or if you have any internship you are, looking for, if you are aiming for an internship. So this was Pragati for you, and we have three things for you now. And first one is that if you guys want to know that how ready you are, then there's a contest that has been designed to simulate the Amazon's coding round. So to check and to check if you guys are ready, you can get enrolled in that contest. We have given the link to that contest in the description. And now we have a GFG app, so you guys can go and download the GFG app from Play Store, and start learning, start exploring for the new opportunities and all. And the third thing is that if you guys want to be part of these interview preparation strategies, then you can take part in that by filling out the Google form that we have given in the description. So the description has a lot of things for you guys, and don't forget to go through the description. So thank you so much again for being such a good audience and asking the questions, and we are happy, and we hope that we are helping you out. So thank you so much, and stay healthy, stay fit. Thank you.